Okay, the phone's in the back. The laptop even, maybe. That's probably 2 minutes for your opening, and then 20 seconds for the question.
So is there any call for the opening?
No.
Just whatever. Hello everyone. My name is Pavan Upadhyayula, and I'm running to be your ASUC president with Student Action. Now, normally when I speak in front of a large Jewish audience, I actually have Hillel barbecue in my hand, and I'm able to be at Hillel having a great time. So this is kind of a change of pace, especially with some of the stoic faces. But I still appreciate you all inviting me out here and giving me the opportunity to speak. One thing I really want to talk about is not only what I plan to do as president, but why I want to run for president. As a third-year pre-med student, most people actually question why I would ever do something like this. And I like to tell them, the same reason why I want to be president is the same reason why I want to be a doctor. It's because my epitome of leadership comes through service. And after joining the ASUC in my first week here at Cal, I've noticed that the people here who have devoted so much effort and energy to the student body not only embody this idea of leadership, but are able to give back to their community. And that's something I hope to do. I'd like to once again thank you all for this opportunity, but I'd like to tell you about one of my platforms. Now, my platforms are related to student life and safety, improving collaboration around campus, as well as promoting transparency. But I'm just going to focus on one of them that may be specifically targeted to this audience. One thing I will accomplish as president is to create a community roundtable where students can come together and air their grievances, so we can have an inclusive campus climate where we're able to address issues on the spot, rather than having to wait months or weeks for a survey before we're able to make any pragmatic changes. Now, I would like to thank you all one last time for giving me this opportunity, and I'd like this opportunity to answer your questions, and also to hear exactly how I can liaise with the Jewish community. Thank you.
Thank you. The first question, how have you been involved with the Jewish community at Cal, and how will that involvement inform your work in representing our community while in office?
My involvement in the Jewish community has come in multiple ways, whether it be weekly Hillel barbecue, or actually being able to volunteer and make challah for a service event, or even Grant actually invited me over to make latkes for Hanukkah with some brothers in API. Now, through all of this, I've actually made some really good friends in this community, whether it be Liza and Grant, who we've talked a lot about in Senate, or Avi, who we've had very long conversations about, not only about Judaism, but about how this campus can actually grow in the future. One thing I want to talk about the Jewish community is exactly that word, what community means to all of you here. From the brief interactions that I've had with a lot of members in this room, it seems as if everyone places a lot of value here. They treat everyone else like family. And that's something that I think is a model that we should bring to the rest of the school. And I hope that will inform me in my next year as ASUC president. In fact, my whole second platform, which is related to improving cooperation, is kind of modeled upon the model that Hillel has given me. The idea that there is a safe space that students can come to, talk about their ideas, and even just eat together is kind of something I literally copied. My second platform, I plan to have monthly catered meals on the Glade, where students are able to come together and able to voice their, and learn about each other's experiences. In that respect, I hope to have more collaboration and use what I've learned here in the Jewish community in my presidency.
Thank you. What is one of your personal values, and how do you see that value relate to the Jewish community?
I relate a lot of these things to my dad because he taught me a lot of the values growing up. Me and my family are what we call Brahmins in India. We are very devout Hindus. And one very important value that he taught me from early on is you're never supposed to take more than you need. You constantly want to be giving back, and you always want to have an open and welcome. You always want to have an open door and welcome any guests. I think this kind of informs the reason why I got into the ASUC. I was actually having a conversation with some members of the Jewish community, and they were talking about how there's pillars in Judaism, and one of them was actually, I believe, Tikkun Olam, and that is repairing the world. I think this actually is something that has informed me in the way that I approach service. My idea of leadership through service is definitely related to the idea that I want to leave the school a better place after I'm able to serve next year. The reason why I've served as a senator, the reason why I joined the ASUC, and the reason why I plan to be president is so that when I leave the campus, I can point to tangible things that I've done to help all students on this campus. That I've made every student feel safe and welcome here, and they can call Berkeley their home.
Great, thank you so much. Next question. As president, you have the power to veto any bill passed by the Senate. When do you think it's appropriate for the ASUC president to use this power, especially as it relates to the recent and potential future divestment bills?
I think this question starts with what the job of the ASUC president is. The ASUC president is meant to be the chief representative and also keep the entire student body safe. Any bill that comes to the Senate floor that threatens the safety of any individual on this campus should not be allowed there. Any bill that threatens the psychological or physical well-being of any individual on campus should not be allowed in the ASUC. Now, in my personal experience, going back to divestment last year, I had numerous friends who were present at the meeting who felt like their voices were silenced, who felt like they had no outlet within the ASUC. And the ASUC is meant to be a space that is able to facilitate all student interaction, not something that silences students, especially when they're looking to it for help. In that regard, especially when they're looking to it for help. In that regard, as ASUC president, I would not feel comfortable signing any bill that is contentious to the point that it threatens the safety of any individual on campus.
What do you think is the biggest issue currently facing the Jewish community, and how do you plan to address this issue as an executive?
One of the biggest issues with the Jewish community, I think, can also be one of its greatest strengths. The fact that there are many different identities to what it means to be Jewish, and they're all able to come together under a united front of what the Jewish community is something that I actually admire, and it's one of the things that I really would like to bring to the rest of the community, of the campus community. I know other minority groups on campus come together and are able to talk about their differences. And that's one thing that I'd actually like to commend the fellow Student Action Senators, Ori and Hannah, for doing, especially with their event next Thursday, which is the From India to Israel event, bringing together my own community with the Jewish community. And it's activities like this that I hope to not only support, but continue next year if I were to take office, to ensure that all students on this campus are able to feel safe, comfortable, and have an inclusive space to talk about what they think is necessary.
Thank you so much.